Shalom Yasha'Allah. His brother Mapad thought that'd be key, but in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, right? And this is going to be a quick video dealing with laboring for others. You understand, right? Seeking the benefit of your brothers and sisters, right? And ultimately just seeking the salvation of the nation, right? This thing is not about vainglory, right? It's not about preaching for filthy lucre's sake, right? Trying to make money, right? Trying to be seen by men. You understand? Hey, but this thing is about laboring for those that seek learning, right? So I want to dive into this thing. And before we go into it, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, right? That'll be all praises to the Most High God, whose name is Yahweh, and the name of his only begotten Son, who the world will ignorantly call Jesus Christ, right? But we know him as Yahushai, the righteous, right? And we're going to dive right into this thing with 1 Corinthians 9 and verse 19, right? Which is a beautiful account, right? So this is the book of this whole chapter is a beautiful chapter, but we're going to deal with 9 and verse 19 on down, right? So this is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 19. And it reads, "For though I be free from all men, yet have I made myself a servant unto all." So Paul was a free man, right? A free man, you understand? But he said, "I made myself a servant unto all, that I might gain the more." Right? And that's what this thing is all about, man. Being a servant unto the lost sheep, right? So that you might gain them, right? So it says, and unto the Jews, I became as a Jew, that I might gain the Jews, right? To them that are under the law, as under the law, that I might gain them that are under the law, right? So he said, hey, he might, even after Yahushua died, he might have participated in animal sacrifice, right? Things like that, just to gain those that were under the law, right? And it says, verse 22, Salaki, verse 21, to them that are without the law, as without the law, being not without the law to the Most High God, but under to the law of Hamashiach Yahushai, that I might gain them that are without the law. So he's making himself all things into all men, right? And it says, to the weak I became as weak, right? So when you dealing with a brother or sister that might be weak in the spirit, right? Hey, you're gonna make yourself weak like them, man. You're not gonna be come off as some mighty man that's better than them, right? You're dealing with a sister that might be a single mother, right? You're gonna condescend, like it says in Romans 12, condescend to men of a low estate, right? You're gonna be relatable unto her, right? A brother that's homeless, you're going to be relatable unto him, right? Tell him about the times where you used to be homeless, right? You don't just you can't just be that mighty man, right? And looking down on your brothers and sisters. You have to condescend to men of a low estate, and that's ultimately how you're going to win their souls. You understand, right? And save them, right? So it says, to the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. And that's what it's all about, man. Right? You got to make yourself all things to all men, that you might by all means save some. Right? You got to be relatable. You can't be this mighty brother that's just you're dealing with somebody on the highways and byways, and you just speaking to them like they're below you. Right? You don't know anything. Right? I'm the mighty man of the Lord. Right? You're not going to win any souls with that spirit. You got to be made all things to all men. And that's why Paul was a wise master builder, because he understood that, right? You got to be able to place yourself in their shoes. You understand? Let's go to Romans 12. So this is the book of Romans chapter 12 and verse 16. And it reads, "Be of the same mind one toward another, mind not high things," right? And it's the point, but condescend to men of a low estate. So even if you might have more wisdom, more knowledge and understanding than the brother that you're teaching, right? Than the next brother or the next sister, hey, you gotta condescend to a low estate. You gotta meet them where they are, right? It's no I'ma meet you halfway, right? Or you just not wise enough. I'm not teaching you. You don't get it, right? No, you gotta condescend to men of a low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits. But the point is, hey, you gotta place yourself in their shoes, man. Right? You got to remember where you came from before you had this wisdom and knowledge and understanding, right? And you got to be relatable. You understand? So don't be that brother that get it in this truth and they feel like they're mightier than their brothers and sisters that's not in this thing, man. Right now they're talking to them like they're nothing. Right? You better wake up, you wicked nigga. Right? Look at you. You don't have no fringes on. Right? Hey, man, that's not going to win souls, man. Right? That's not the spirit of Yahushua. You understand? Paul was in the spirit. Right? He understood these things. Right? And even yet, that's Salakia. Kind of click the damn notification. But let's go into the words of Yahushua. Right? Let's get into this thing. Let's get Matthew 23. So it's the book. So just to show you that that's not the spirit of Yahushua. Yahushua was the greatest man to walk the earth. And what was he doing? He was serving everybody, right? He was serving everybody. He was their servant. He was doing the most work out of everybody. He wasn't sitting back saying, I'm the king of Yasha Allah. Bring me a damn drink, right? Where's my food? Right? Yahushua was feeding everybody, man. Right? He was healing the blind, the lame. You understand? So this is the book of Matthew chapter 23 and verse, I'm gonna start from 10, right? And it says, and this all red letter, it says, neither be ye called masters, for one is your masters, even your master, even Yahushua, right? And this is the point, verse 11. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. Salaki. Right? So that brother that is greatest among you, he should be serving everybody else. Right? He should be a servant, a minister unto the nation. Right? Paul, hey man, he was going to and fro, ministering unto the nation. You understand? He said, I labored more than all the apostles, man. Right? And it wasn't because he wasn't really trying to say he's better than them or boast in it. You understand? Right? But hey, he had the most wisdom, right? The most knowledge and understanding. Hey, he labored more than all of them. Right? And it says, let me read this again. It says, but he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. Right? So let's go to the book of 1 Kings. And that's a beautiful precept, man. Right? So don't be that brother that feel like I got the most wisdom. Right? I'm the mightiest of the camp, of the congregation. I'm the mightiest in the nation. And yet, hey, if you're the mightiest in the nation, you feel like you have an abundance of wisdom that outweighs your brothers, right? Or your sisters, man. You should be doing the most work. Right? You should be the one that's teaching the most. You should be the one that's giving the most counsel, right? Doing the most breakdowns, right? That's on fire the most, man. Right? Because if you feel like you're the greatest, this is what Yahushua told the apostles. If you feel like you're the greatest, hey, you're going to be the servant of all, man. Right? So you should be laboring the most if you feel like you're the greatest, man. That's plain. You should be ministering unto the nation of Israel the most if you're the greatest, right? And that's what the Lord said. The greatest among you shall be your servant. Right? So the greatest man is not going to sit back and be like, everybody feed me because I'm better than you. Right? You kind of not reading no more. Hey, I'm the wisest teacher. Why would I read for you? Right? Hey, no, that brother that's the greatest among you, he's going to be reading. He's going to be carrying the signs. He's going to be doing all that he can do to serve his brothers and sisters of Israel, man. Right? So let's go to the book of, let me get this first in Sirach. Let's get Sirach chapter 3 and verse 18. And it reads, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. So the greater you are, the more humble you should be, right? And as you being humble, hey, you should be the servant unto everybody, right? Hey, brother, I need this breakdown. You kind of break it down. Somebody hits you up in your, hey, brother, can you break down this precept? You kind of break it down. Hey, brother, I need counsel. You ready to give counsel? You're going to be serving everybody. You understand? That's what it means to be humble, right? That's what it means to be a servant, right? Every time, man, every day, damn, what could I teach the nation today? What lesson could I bring out to exhort the nation, right? Because all you're thinking about is serving the nation and being a minister. You understand? So the greatest among you shall be thy servant. Let's go to 1 Kings 12. So this is the book of 1 Kings chapter 12 and verse 7, and it reads, and they spake unto him, saying, if thou wilt be a servant unto this people this day, and will serve them. Right, let's start from 6. So we get the context. It says, and King Rehoboam consulted with the old men that stood before Solomon his father while he yet lived, and said, how do you advise that I may answer this people? Right. So this is Rehoboam asking for counsel on how to be a good king. Right. And it says, and they spake unto him, saying, if thou wilt be a servant unto this people this day, and will serve them and answer them and speak good words to them, then they will be thy servants forever. Right. So he was about to become the king. You understand? So he asked for counsel. How should I be a good king? And the elders told him, hey, you got to be a servant unto your unto the nation, man. Right. Whenever they ask you questions, you answer them. Right. You serve them. Right. You speak good words to them, and it says, hey, and then they will be thy servants forever. Right. So when you're placed in a position of power, you understand, or you're given a certain amount of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Right. The spirit is dealing with you on a certain level. Right. You don't sit back and feel like you're better than other brothers. You work the most. You serve the most. You minister the most. Right. And you're a servant unto the nation. You understand? And that's plain. That's the teachings of our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai, man. Right? So let's go to the book of Sirach. Let's go to Sirach. Chapter 33 and verse 16. And it reads, and this is a beautiful account, right? And it says, and I waked up last of all as one that gathereth after the great gatherers, right? By the blessing of the Lord I profited. Right, let me read that again, right? Because I got to make a point out of here. It says, and I waked up last of all as one that gathereth after the great gatherers, right? So we had laborers before us, the elders that labored before us, the brothers that came into this truth before us, you understand? Right, and we kind of gathered the grapes from the things that from their labor, you understand? We learned from them. And it says, by the blessings of the Lord I profited and filled my wine press like a gatherer of grapes, right? And it's the point. Consider that I labored not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning, right? So we don't labor for ourselves only. We don't do this work to profit ourselves, right? For vainglory, right? To make money, right? To just have wisdom to ourselves. We labor for all those that seek learning. You understand? That's what this ministry is all about. Edifying one another, right? Building up one another, exhorting one another to continue in the faith, right? Because we understand through much tribulation, we're going to inherit the kingdom of heaven. So as a servant, you should be constantly exhorting, constantly doing all that you can to just continue to build up the nation, right? That's what it's all about, man. Bearing good fruits, right? Let's go to the book of 2 Timothy. That's why, hey, we got to really be into the teachings of Yahweh Shai. The teachings of Yahweh Shai is deep, right? But on another level, there's simple teachings, man. You understand? Let's go to 2 Timothy 2 and 1, right? And it says, yeah, we can start from 1. It says, thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. So that's what it's all about, edifying the next brother. Now he can go and edify the next brother. And then that brother that he teach can go and edify the next brother. Like my brother Gabar always say, hey, each one teach one, man. And that's what this ministry is about, man. Right? It's all about laboring for those that seek learning. Right? Now you could be an example unto that next brother, and now he's going to labor for the next brother that seeks learning. And next thing you know, we're building the nation and sealing the elect, man. Right? That's what this thing is about. So we can get out of here. You understand? Let's go to 1 Corinthians. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. So you gotta be a servant in this thing, man. Right? Especially if you say you're you got a good amount of wisdom or whatever it may be, right? You got we all got gifts, you understand, and we got to use these gifts. Let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 24, and it reads, let no man seek his own, but every man another's wealth, right? And that's not talking about carnal money. Let's go into that word wealth, right? So don't seek your own profit, man, right? But seek the profit of your brothers and your sisters, man. Salakia. Oh, they kind of don't got that word in the Greek. Let me go to a different translation. Right? Bear with me. It's kind of going off, but hey, it's going into like their well-being. You understand, right? It says, "Let no man seek his own, but every man another's wealth," meaning their well-being. You understand? Everything you're doing you're doing it for the edification of the next brother or the next sister, right? You're not seeking your own profit, right? And we're going to get the point. Go to verse 33. 1 Corinthians 10 and 33. It says, "Even as I please all men in all things, not seeking my own profit, but the profit of many, that they may be saved." Right? So all Paul cared about was the salvation of his brothers and sisters, man. He did all of the labor that he did for his brothers and sisters. Let me see if I can find this precept real fast, because I believe I quoted it earlier. I believe it's 2 Corinthians 11. Right? Let me see if I can find this. Bear with me. I'm gonna try to see if I can find it. Bear with me, Yashala. This is what I want right here. So it's 1 Corinthians 10. So 1 Corinthians 15 and verse, I'm gonna start from 9. It says, "For I am the least of the apostles, that I am not meet to be called an apostle, because I persecuted the church of the Most High God." So Paul was kind of like, man, I'm not even really ready to be in this position that I'm in, right? Because I was persecuting those that believed in the Lord, right? And it says, "But by the grace of the Most High God, I am what I am," right? And I love this account. It says, "And his grace, which was bestowed upon me, was not in vain, but I labored more abundantly than they all," man. So he said, hey, I labored more than all the apostles, right? He made himself a servant unto the people more than all the apostles. "Yet not I," and he said it wasn't through me, right? "But the grace of the Most High God, which was with me." You see that? So Paul was putting his brick in, right? On a major level, right? He said he labored more than all the other apostles, right? So Paul was making himself a servant unto the people, right? And I wanted to bring this out in Romans 15. And we can start from the top. Verse 1, it says, "We then that are strong are to bear the infirmities of the weak," right? And it's going back into what Yahweh Shai was teaching, right? If you're the greatest, hey, you're going to be a servant to the to all, man, right? To those that are weaker than you, you're going to be a servant unto them, right? So it says, "We that are strong are to bear the infirmities of the weak, and not to please ourselves." And this thing is not about pleasing ourselves. It's not about seeking our own glory. It's not about seeking out just preaching the gospel for filthy lucre's sake. It's all about the edification of the nation, right? And it's gonna say it in the next verse, right? It says, "Let every one of us please his neighbor for his good to edification," right? So that's what it's about, the edification of your brother, right? The edification of your sister. You understand? Verse 3, "For even Yahweh Shai pleased not himself." And Yahweh Shai is the perfect example, right? He died for a lot of wicked brothers, right? And we're wicked, man, right? We were wicked, right? A lot of wicked sisters is who Yahweh Shai died for, so that we might gain life through his blood, right? So Yahweh Shai didn't please himself. It says, breathing on, "But as it is written, the reproaches of them that are reproached thee fell," Salakia, "the reproaches of them that reproach thee fell on me," man. Right? So it's all about the edification of your brothers and your sisters. It's not about yourself, right? So this ministry is all about your brothers and sisters, man. Right? It's all about chiefly, really, the elect, right? So let's go to 2 Corinthians 12 and verse 19. And it reads, "Again, think ye that we excuse ourselves unto you? We speak before the Most High and Yahweh Shai," right? And it's the point. "But we do all things, dearly beloved, for your edifying." So Paul was telling the church of Corinth, hey, everything we do is for your edifying, right? Let's go into that word edifying, right? Salaki, bear with me. Let's go into that word in the Greek. And it's going into the act of building up. And that's what it's all about. Building up the next brother, building up the next sister, right? Exhorting them to continue in the faith, right? We get this real quick precept in Isaiah 35:3. Right? A quick precept. This is Isaiah 35:3. It says, strengthen ye the weak hands and confirm the feeble knees. So if you're strong in the faith, hey, you got to strengthen the weak hands and confirm the feeble knees. Right? In verse 4, it says, say to them that are of a fearful heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your God will come with vengeance, even the Most High God with the recompense. He will come and save you. Right? So you as a stronger brother, these are the words you're supposed to be implementing into the your brothers and sisters that's a little weaker in the faith. Right? You got to exhort them to continue in the faith. Right? Being a servant unto them. Let's go to the book of Acts 14. That's why you got brothers that constantly make the videos daily. Right? Because you gotta be a servant to the nation. Right? You make the videos daily, you go out on the highways and byways, right? You're constantly just trying to exhort the next brother and the next sister to continue in this thing, man. Right? You praying for the next brother, you praying for the next sister. You understand? That's what this ministry is all about, man. Right? It's all about the next brother and the next sister. Yahweh Shai showed us that by laying down his life for his brothers and sisters, man. Yahweh Shai is the ultimate example we have. Right? That's plain. So this is the book of Acts chapter 14 and verse 22, and it reads, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, right? And that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High God. So we have to continually exhort our brothers and sisters to continue in the faith, right? And that's why you have to continually get into this word, man, right? Preach the gospel, man, right? We have to preach the gospel, man, right? Let's go to the book, a second, Shalaki, I just had a precept. Let's go to Ephesians 4. Right, so this is the book of Ephesians 4 and 11. It says, and he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers. Right, so the Lord raised up different apostles, prophets, evangelists, and some pastors and teachers in the last days. It says, for the perfecting of the saints. Right, so that's what the Lord raised up these different men for, is to perfect the saints and exhort them to continue in the faith. Right, and it says for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Yahweh Shai. Right, so that's what it's all about, man. That's why the Lord raised up certain brothers and certain sisters, and it goes into the same thing in Jeremiah 3 and verse 15. Right, and Lord willing, this is edifying. Right, and with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and Shalom Yashala.